Speaking of school, school has been in session now for a little while, and it's time to start thinking about those parent-teacher conferences. Here with some tips to ensure that we make the most of the time spent with our kids and our teachers are Leah Purvis and Victoria Sherrard from Sylvan Learning Center. It's good to see you. Nice of you both to be here. And, you know, it's funny, we're talking about parent-teacher conferences, and, you know, I just show up. I don't really think, should I prepare for those? And you're saying, yeah, you really should as a parent. What are some of the things we should think about before we enter the classroom to talk to the teacher?
Well, I think it's really important to be involved with your children's education. And so you as a parent need to know what's going on during the school day. And whether it's a scheduled parent-teacher conference where you have that designated 15 minutes or you're just popping in, I think it's important as a parent to respect the teacher's time and go in with specific questions of what you want to ask and what concerns you want to talk about.
Do you notice a difference with kids who have higher achieving grades? Is there a common denominator with kids that seem to be doing better in school?
Most kids that do better in school have parents that are highly involved. They're parents who take initiative to communicate with the classroom teacher, check homework at night, check planners, make sure that the children are prepared. So that parent involvement is so important and really does reflect in the achievement of the child.
How much time should they be involved? I guess a lot of parents wonder if, well, am I giving enough? I don't know.
It's going to depend on the age of the child.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Obviously the younger the child,
sure.
The more involvement you need to have, because the children aren't emotionally and socially as responsible as a child who is older. And the older a child gets, the more you want to foster that independence.
Right.
And kind of pull away, but you don't want to pull away to have your child just drowned.
Right.
You want them to be successful. So, you know, it's kind of a judgment call on, you know, your child better than anybody. You want to make sure that you are providing your child with the support they need while still encouraging them to be independent.
Yeah, I've had my child say, no, I don't need your help. I can do this. Mr. Lee says I can do this on my own. So sometimes they'll tell you. What are some of the questions when we go into a teacher's conference that we should think about or ask? Do you have any suggestions?
I think one of the biggest ones is my child working to his or her potential?
Okay.
You know, I think you can compare, a teacher can say, well, you know, they're in the middle of the class, or they're at the high end of the class, but is that their potential? Is that their full potential? And I think as a parent, that's what you should want, is that, you know, if B's are the best they can do, then that's great. If they're working as hard as they can to achieve that, then that's okay. But I think having high expectations for your kids is really important too. So you need to be involved and then have those high expectations.
Right.
So some other questions are, you know, what should homework time look like, and how much involvement do you want me to have? You know, from the teacher's perspective, how much do they want you to be supporting? And
well, that's a good question, especially as the kids get into those older grades. Like, how much should we really sit there with them and help them, or do you just want us to stand back? And the teacher is the best one to kind of answer those questions.
Exactly.
So be prepared, obviously, when you go into these meetings. It is usually a very short amount of time.
It is, and so you need to go in there with your agenda and hit the most important questions first, so that you're not getting to the end and have run out of time. You know, you need to respect the teacher's time and the parent who's coming in after them.
Sure. What about follow-up appointments? Should you, if you have something with the teacher, you feel like, you know, we need to check back on that, should you definitely set the date and time?
Yes.
Definitely make sure that you're following up. Does it also kind of hold that your child and the teacher we're all working together, right?
It is a partnership. Do you know, I mean, you are entrusting your child with that teacher for 6 or 7 hours a day, and then you have them for an equal amount of time during the day, and so you guys all have to work, everyone has to work together. We all have to work as a partner.
It's very important to, and as you said, you know, when you're involved, your child knows you're involved. They know you're keeping tabs, so it also makes them feel, you know, this is an important thing, what I'm doing here. Because my mom and dad care about it too.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Some really good tips there, because this is the time of year where you'll be meeting with your teachers, and you forget how quickly the year goes by, so stay on top of it. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Some good tips. So if you want more information about Sylvan Learning Center, you can visit them online. It's sylvanlearning.com. There is their phone number, 1-800